Rejection. It is that one word that makes every man's skin crawl. It's that one word that makes a man question his own worth. And it is the very one thing that every single man is scared of, to be rejected by another woman, or just in general facing rejection in life. And whether it is actually not getting attention from someone you like, or it's losing an opportunity, or even being invisible in a room filled with people, it is the one thing that actually makes you question what is wrong with me. Maybe I'm not important enough. But rejection is truly not a proof of your worth. It is actually a proof of your perception that you have about yourself. So, in this video, I really want to talk about how you can actually develop a mentality that is fully rejection proof. And before we get into the video, I have an announcement to make. So, my first course, which is actually to help you guys build a strong masculine presence, self worth, and confidence as well, is almost done. And in the coming 1-2 weeks, I'll be launching it out. Once it's ready, I will actually make an announcement in the next video. So, until then, stay tuned. And also, if you're new here, I am Vesh and I'm a men's coach and I help men heal with their attachment issues, wounded masculinity, and even their self worth and confidence for them to actually develop meaningful connection with women. Apart from the course that I'm creating, if you want to book a one on one session with me, you can also reach out to me through Instagram. The link is something you'll find in the description box below, and DM me the keyword coach so that I know you're reaching out to book a one on one consultation with me where we'll be doing things like inner child work, hypnotherapy to actually rewire your subconscious to help you get over any mindset or limiting beliefs that you have. So, without any further ado, let's actually get into the video itself. The first thing I want to talk about is the illusion of rejection in itself. 90% of the times, rejection is actually not about you. Maybe you really like someone else and she rejected you, and you started thinking, oh, there is something that is wrong within me. There is something that I am lacking because of which she actually rejected me. But most of the time, there are so many factors behind someone actually not wanting to be with you. Maybe she hasn't moved on from her ex. Maybe she loves someone else. Maybe she doesn't want a relationship at this given point of time. Maybe the timing is not something that matches at all. Maybe she has other things at her home or any other problems or traumas in her life that she's actually dealing with. And I know that in all of the videos, I tell you guys, look within instead of looking external. But the one area where you should not truly just be looking within is the area of rejection. Because most of the times, you getting rejected is actually not a reflection of your worth at all. There are so many other things that possibly could have played a role in the decision that she made, or even you losing an opportunity or something of that sort. And I know that rejection already feels personal, especially when you have low self worth or confidence. But it's your job to actually train your mind in such a way to make yourself believe that rejection is not always personal. Sometimes they are doing things from their life story. Every single one of us, we are living a different life story. All of us have different kinds of problems in our life. And every decision that we make is not necessarily about the person in front of us. There are a lot of times where I like solitude and I want to be left alone, but sometimes I might refuse from hanging out with someone. It's my duty to do that politely and kindly, but it's not my duty to justify it to them that why I do not want to hang out with them. Because for me, what is more important is my mental health, and I would do anything in my best capacity possible to make sure that I am taking care of myself mentally, even if that means turning down a request from someone to actually hang out with me. And this is also because previously I had people pleasing habits and I always was in the business of taking care of other people's needs. And it had to come to a point where I had to start taking care of myself. Now, similarly, if you are getting rejected by someone, they might be living their own story, which you are probably not aware of at all. The second thing I want to talk about is your self concept. Your self concept is how you see yourself, which is the foundation of everything. Your self concept is how you think about yourself when no one is actually watching you. And if you inherently feel you are unworthy, if you inherently feel you are not good enough, every no that actually comes in your way feels a confirmation of your inner belief system that already exists in your mind. And these belief systems, like I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, people do not like me, there is something inherently wrong with me, are things which are actually formed in your childhood. Maybe it's probably because of the way your parents were with you, and maybe even if you went through things like bullying, it further confirms to you that, hey, you are the outcast among the social group. But what you need to understand is, even if you did go through bullying, that was not because there was something wrong with you. Anyone's behavior towards you is a reflection of their morals and their values. It's not a reflection of your inherent worth. But when we have such negative experiences in our life, we truly take that personally, and that then affects our concept about ourselves. And that's the thing, right? When you have a high self concept, that is when you actually start thinking, okay, even if this person said no to me, that's probably not because of me. There might be other factors because of which this person had to say no to me, even if that means you losing an opportunity, you losing a person as well. And when your self concept is high, every no actually becomes a portal of redirection. And I have personally also faced rejection in my life from men as well. And when that happens, right, it actually takes my self confidence down, where I slip up into a loop of, okay, maybe I'm not lovable enough. This was one of my core belief system that I had to really fight hard, that I'm not worthy and I'm not lovable and I am too much. And when someone says no, I would take it personally because they are just reaffirming the belief systems that I already have about myself in my mind. But then it is a process of doing the inner work, challenging myself every single time I'm caught in that loop after I face rejection. And this is the only way you can actually regulate yourself when you're going through rejection. Every rejection is actually an opportunity for you to strengthen your self concept and your self worth. Now, you actually become a victim of that when you let that rejection affect you and you really feel you're not worthy. But you transcend that and you overcome that when every time you catch yourself thinking bad about yourself and challenging all those belief systems. Until you become conscious of your unconscious thought patterns, you're going to keep living the same reality and then you're going to call it your fate. And that's one big thing. The stronger your self concept is, the less a rejection can actually affect you because you know your inherent worth. You have shown it to yourself enough times that you are worthy, you are good enough, there is actually nothing wrong within you. It's a whole different thing to actually think there is something inherently wrong, whereas it's a whole different thing to be ambitious and wanting better things for yourself. Now, sometimes when you get rejected from an opportunity like, business or work, use that as a fuel to actually build a good life for yourself. Use that as a motivation to overcome all of those things. Even in relationship, if you're rejected by a woman, use that to actually fuel your personal development journey. Start working out, work on your finances, work on any side projects that you want to work on, and make yourself a man who is worthy of respect. As long as you don't respect yourself, you're not going to get respect from anyone around you, and that is just a fact. The third thing I want to talk about is detaching from what others think of you, from their perception of your worth. Now, a small example. Let's say in my entire life, I have never seen gold, and someone kept a piece of gold in front of me. It looks yellow. I don't even like the color of yellow. Just because I do not like that metal, does that actually affect its inherent worth? It doesn't. It is still valuable in the market. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. So I might not find that gold valuable, but it doesn't truly matter because nobody cares about if I find it valuable or not, because the gold itself has an inherent worth. This is the same logic that you need to apply when it comes to yourself. Maybe she doesn't see your value. Maybe you applied for a job, they don't see your value. But that does not determine your inherent worth. Only you determine what your inherent value is and your inherent worth is. Now, in case of gold, it's the market value. But in case of human beings, we decide who we are, what we are worth. And when you actually impress this thought in your subconscious that you are worthy, that is when you unconsciously start doing things from a place of confidence, from a place of self worth, where nothing actually can shake you. But to even get to that place, right, you have to go through those limiting beliefs, those negative self perceptions. You have to swim in the trenches. You have to swim in all the dirt in your subconscious to actually come out. You can't affirm your way into, believing that, hey, you are worthy. You have to sit with that unworthiness first and you have to feel it out. You have to feel all the emotions. And this is how you actually process your traumas. Now, if you're booking a session with me, this is exactly what I teach you, how to process your emotions so you can transcend them once and for all. And now, getting over this fear of rejection, it's not a one time process. It is something you have to consciously engage in every single day. Maybe you take it up as a challenge to actually approach people. Maybe you take it up as a challenge to create new friends. Yes, you might get rejected. And every time you get rejected, it might affect your inherent confidence. But if you can overcome that, you are going to be unstoppable because you have already faced so many rejections. And if those rejections could not affect your worth, you are actually building such a thick skin where nobody can ever get to you in the very first place. And rejection hurts so much because somewhere it presses your childhood wounds, which are already there within you. Somewhere it is reminding you of the things that you went through in your childhood, where these belief systems were already formed, where you felt that you are not enough, love is not consistent, you are not lovable, people do not accept you. But these belief systems are nothing but illusion. These are lies which we have cooked in our brain. Maybe you did not get the love that you wanted in your childhood, but that also doesn't mean that you creating the story that you are unlovable is also true. So first half of our life we actually learn a lot of patterns and coping mechanism, and the second half of our life is actually about you unlearning those coping mechanisms and patterns and challenging your own unconscious belief systems. And the last thing I really want to talk about is to reframing that rejection into power. You need to have this belief system that every no that you get in your life is actually a redirection from the universe. This is something that has personally helped me out a lot. Anytime I did not get something that I wanted, looking back, it's actually been the best thing that has happened to me. Anytime a relationship I was in did not go through well, again, that was the best thing that happened to me because right now, given the person that I am, I probably would not be with that person in the very first place. So even if I got rejected or even if things did not work out for me, it was all a redirection leading me to my highest good. And if things went through the way I wanted them to go through, maybe I would not have been here sitting in front of you guys telling you about all these things. So everything happens for a reason, and you need to constantly remind yourself of this particular thing when you are in the fire, when you're going through that low self-worth moments, when you're going through that moments where you're doubting yourself, and even after rejection immediately, because those few days you would be feeling bad, and it's okay to also feel bad about it. It's not about, toughening up and not feeling bad and blocking your emotions. If you want to cry, cry it out. If you want to feel it out. Process your emotions. That's the only way you're going to be able to transcend it. And after you finish processing those emotions, then you start challenging yourself. Then you start questioning the validity of that thought itself. And confidence is not something that you are born with. Confidence is something that you develop over and over again, even after you go through rejection, and you start standing tall after that. Because those things do not determine where your life is going, because you determine where your life is headed. So, guys, rejection is actually not the enemy. The only rejection you need to be worried about is you rejecting yourself. You rejecting yourself after you got rejected from someone else, that is the bigger problem here. Because that is how you make yourself believe that you are unworthy when you also leave your own hands the way someone else left your hand. So it's a whole process of bringing yourself back up, even if life actually throws rejection in your way, because rejection is inevitable. You need to get over that fear, and that is only something you can do when you truly realize your inherent worth. So I hope this episode was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.